Okay, Jody started the recording, so I want to welcome everyone to the Thursday, April 17th, noon meeting for village staff and trustees. I apologize, I switched seats for today's meeting just because there's a significant reflection from the car windows outside the front door, and I like to be able to read what I've got in front of me here, so I apologize. Anyway, so we will start today with a roll call. Susan Ainsley.
Present.
Kathleen Yen.
Present.
Wolfgang Bulmer and Carolyn Greenwald, I believe, are absent today. But no one online, Jody? Okay. So.
I turned these on earlier. Go on.
Okay, someone joins after.
We're on earlier.
All right, so we will start with John.
How you doing?
Okay.
Good. Been taking some time off. While away, guys, got the tin done on the salt shed. That's all wrapped up. Just been doing miscellaneous things. Got the fence put in. Mike and I got the mall to finally install the light down there at the trail. Yeah, and so that allowed us to put our fence, so we put a split rail fence in there last week. Kind of for a half round, thank you. Just scratching off the remaining expenditure list. Got crack sealing coming up another 2 weeks. And we also have road sweeping coming up in a couple weeks. And then we're gonna be working on, after this meeting, early in the month, I guess, I don't wanna say that. Next week, we'll be working on the electrical for the streetlights. I know there's a lot of pressure on that, but we've been taking the time off, and everybody's had some time off, so we'll get that done next week. We had to reactivate a dig request ticket. That's not valid until Monday, correct? Yeah, so they picked up all the posts and parts and everything for that. And we had a water break Monday of this week. That was I didn't realize anybody would ever put a hydrant out in the middle of woods, but in between Brown Road and Route 13, there's a hydrant out next to that berm. And we had to cart everything in several hundred feet. 500 feet, a couple hundred yards.
When you say cart, hand carry?
Yeah, can carry. We carried some in with a skid steer.
We used a brush hog cutter.
1 million gallons of water escaped in 24 hours. So it was a big, giant mess out there. Come to find out, it was a broken hydrant. We were already out there excavating because they said it was a water break, and we could have just isolated it by turning the valve down, but we were already there.
Yes.
Everything's out there. So.
Is that a hydrant that Bolton Point is supposed to check as part of their water system check?
Yeah, but it just snapped at the bottom. The stem snapped.
Okay.
And on the Clow Eddies, they have hydrants, just to give you a little quick explanation. Hydrants, when you run water up the barrel and then when you shut them off, they drain out a weep hole down at the bottom so they can't freeze. On the Clow Eddies, they have, as soon as you're closing the hydrant, a stem goes down, and when you're opening a hydrant, a stem goes down and plugs the hole. When you close the hydrant, the stem comes up. And so when that stem broke at the base of the hydrant, that brought everything up, and it made a mess. And we couldn't figure it out. And that line was installed in 1990, so it was pretty recent.
Yeah, relative.
So I don't think it was checked recently. It's been a few years, I think.
Well, it's
And it
remote areas.
appears that the hydrant may have been open.
At some point.
Yeah, so it could have froze, and that
Yeah.
be what happened
Damaged
to it.
inside.
So It was quite a lengthy repair. I don't know. We got quite late that night.
Did Bolton Point get notified of that so that they know to check that hydrant from now?
They were aware of it. That's the first place that they went when they were looking for the amount of water they were losing.
All right.
They were losing 750 gallons a minute. So, which is screaming. And that's all I have really. Been in communication with Brent on the sewer district 1 expansion. He sent him a letter today to acknowledge, he had sent them a couple emails to the town and never replied to him. So he basically sent him a very, I wouldn't say nasty for lack of better words, but a urgent email.
Yeah.
Expressing that his dissatisfaction that there's been a lack of communication.
Right.
So I think that's going to help.
Yeah, they seem to want to just notify us when everything's done.
Right.
Okay, we're ready to go now. And-
Right.
Yeah.
So did you get any response to them on the doodle poll thing?
Yeah, I think I'm going to double check this afternoon, and then I'll send out an invitation. I think we've only got a 1 hour window where most of everyone can be.
Right.
And that will be on that final day on a Friday, I believe.
Friday's the worst day for me.
I know, I apologize. Well, it may be a Thursday, but it's the last day of the window. It seemed to be that was the one, but I am evaluating other times where we can get the most significant contributors to the conversation in the room. So, and obviously you're one.
I'll do what I got to do. I don't want it to be my reasoning that we can't get an important
Okay, thanks.
person.
But I'll try to work you in on your normal schedule.
Yeah, so that's good. The letter that you signed to the town and to Hugo Heights, they had a 30-day window to respond in writing.
Yeah, and it's come and gone.
Okay.
Yeah, but according to Natalie, there's a 6-month window for a negotiation period. That was her understanding, so they could still come back and try to negotiate, I suspect. But I haven't had any indication that they are. So just the normal, this meetings that we're scheduling are the only conversations we're having with them related to the problems. So we will hear more at that meeting.
So does that mean the rate hike is going to be in effect, or is that still up to negotiation? That was like an appendage B or something like that?
The rate hike, which rate hike are you talking?
It said right in that letter that the rate hike would be effective the first billing cycle of the fiscal year for the Village of Lansing, which is, I believe.
Are you talking?
They only get billed once a year. So that will be it.
Are you talking sewer rate?
Yeah,
The recent sewer rate increase?
the one we sent in the letter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, I'm thinking of the one that's just come out from Linda Woodard with the new sewer hike.
It's not that one. It's the one that the village, right now, they pay half our rate.
Yeah.
And in the letter, it said effective June, I believe it was.
Okay, so yeah, as far as I know, that's going to happen.
Well, okay. I didn't know if that was still up for negotiation or not.
It's getting late in the year. How late could we effectively make a change to that rate if we had to, Jody? And this in time for the June?
Their bill goes out June 1st, and we already budgeted for it.
All right, so we've budgeted for it. So if there's any negotiation, that will be part of our side's negotiation, as we've already budgeted. You didn't say anything, so if anything changes, I will let you know. But if something does change, or we get a hint of it, it should be in the meeting that we're having later in April. The sewer discussion between the three, Lansing's and Village of Cuyahoga Heights. But I haven't heard where just that they were talking about it internally, but the internal communications don't come out to us, which is an important communication, so.
What is that 30-day, would that 30-day deadline date be?
Fast.
March, early March 7th, I think, or 8th. I'm sorry,
Oh, I'm sorry, and the 90-day.
3 months from, so it would be
So the letter was,
May 7th or 8th?
And that one has to do with charging for a sewer connection.
Right, that's the sewer connection, yeah,
not the rate.
not the sewer charge, use charge rate, no. So, anyway, so if I hear anything, I'll let you know, but I'll be sending out the communication about that meeting probably tomorrow morning, maybe this afternoon if I can get, I think we've got responses from everyone. So I will look at that and send out the communication and a tentative agenda for the meeting.
Okay.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Is there any questions on anything?
An
The
update on the heater.
diameter,
Excuse me?
Heater.
diameter, I'm sorry.
Oh, the heater replacement in the garage?
No,
Is that what you're talking about?
no, community room.
Yeah,
Oh,
meeting
the
room.
heater's out, okay.
Yeah, so the guy's diagnosed it, there's, with a, what do you call that part again?
Doctor,
Inductor fan, inductor blower. We're gonna order it online and try to get it as soon as we can. Carrier furnaces do not have a good parts supplier, locally. It's pretty much by order only, from my understanding.
And this weight,
So, Monday, there's a meeting tomorrow, I believe there. There's a meeting Wednesday, election is Tuesday. Is there something going outside there Monday?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I suggested we just get a space heater to put in there. It's like at 60 degrees. So if we had a space heater and it's just that one room, that would take care of it. It'd make more sense to spend 100 and something rather than 700 to get it.
Yeah, the part at HEPS is $700 and some, but the guys have sourced it online through like Amazon for 100 and,
85.
185.
Okay.
So it's an order part only, even at HEPS. So my thought is, give me just a little bit this afternoon and see if I can get one. I'd rather pay 50, 60 bucks to overnight it. And Monday morning, we have we can install it, and that would take care of the problem.
Okay.
And then if I can't get it overnighted, I don't even know if they have heaters on the shelves in all these supply stores anymore. Usually they come off the shelves. We'll have to find a small space heater, an electric space heater or something.
What about BJ's?
BJ's? Yeah.
Yeah, BJ's Ace Hardware or something
Yeah.
close by.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
can swing over and get it quick, maybe, I don't know,
Yeah.
or maybe even Target, I don't know.
right. Yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll check BJ's.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, I would say by Monday afternoon, we have to pull the trigger on one or the other.
yeah, absolutely.
For the-
Because I don't want to have something go wrong there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the bridge ladies left early on Wednesday because it was too cold.
Too cold?
Play bridge.
Okay, all right. Is it time to look at fully replacing that heater?
It's not that, I mean, I should say it's not that old, but it's 15 or 20 years old. It's 20 years old at least. Because a week or so ago was my 20th anniversary, and that was in there before me.
Okay.
So they looked at it when I had the air conditioner installed.
Right.
And they didn't see an issue with it. It's a high efficiency.
Right,
So it's a pretty good furnace, and
okay,
I think we had the motherboard replaced a few years ago on that. And so that's some of the bigger problems they ever have, so.
okay,
But we might want to think about it in a few years.
Okay.
For now, I think we can just get away with it.
Okay.
Repairing it.
all right. Well,
It's the part's kind of not that expensive.
and if we have to purchase a little space heater, that's something that we can use over here if our heat ever goes out. So it's probably, that's a minor investment because I don't think they're extremely expensive anymore, of course.
Right.
Current goings on with tariffs and shipping and so forth, they might be going up in price, but.
Right.
Okay. Well, let us know.
Yep.
Anything else?
You had a question? Kathy?
Oh, this goes back a ways, just the diameter.
Oh, still fighting on that one. So I did send an email out to I have had a little bit of correspondence back from the Youngs. Sent an email to me yesterday and wanted to know if we heard from the town. And I replied to him and said, not getting much communication. One of the concerns the village and Village of Cuba, well, two concerns is the path and the diameter of the pipe.
Right.
He replied, said that he would much rather install a smaller pipe, obviously.
Sure.
And the path is not, I don't think is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable, the path. We're trying to get the sewer tucked along Water Wagon Road,
Right.
but
Right.
he said that their council told them that they would have to redo the sewer District 1,
Okay.
which time constraints on the easement, because I think it is the easement that they've obtained from Hicks property does have a deadline on it.
Okay.
They were promised as part of the deal that they have sewer
Right.
to those lots this year.
Right.
And that's why they're trying to at least get it up to the back lot, up to at least Water Wagon Road.
So that pretty much puts all of the maintenance on the town, correct?
Yeah.
Because of the path.
Once they accept, yes, once they accept it.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're good. I'll keep you in the loop on
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, well, that's going to be, if we haven't heard something specifically, that's going to be one of the top agenda items, that one. And obviously the
Letter.
the letter and the exposure or the inclusion of Village of Lansing staff and engineer into the discussions for.
Brent sent an email out to the town. He replied to an email. I think I copied you on it to start the process, and then it went, people got kind of removed from the CC part.
Okay.
Brent sent Mike an email after he replied. Mike replied to my email because I think I copied you on it and said, hey, Mike, how's it going? Have you had the plans? And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw what Brent's response was. Yeah, how's it going? Mike responded to Brent, and then Brent responded and got no response.
Okay.
And it's been 2 weeks, so Brent sent out another letter today.
Right. Okay.
I'll talk to you later about it.
Okay. Right. We'll just see. It'll be a group discussion where everybody knows what's going on if it comes to that. So anyway.
Any concerns or questions with the invoices or anything, any complaints around the village?
I have, sorry.
Nothing from me.
No, just the same ones, that have been noted in the past.
There have been no pushes on the streetlights. I was just curious.
No, it's not you. I've had a couple of people ask.
Okay.
Besides you. No, it wasn't you that I was, it was, there was a couple people that are emailing, one, talked to Jody kindly emailed me.
Okay.
And we're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying to burn our time, trying to get our time down. I wouldn't say I'm a master electrician, but it's not something I want the guys to tackle on their own.
Right. Yeah, it's never gonna, you don't want to do something like that without a partner.
I mean,
Yeah.
we fly by night all our electrical connections. No.
Fly by night, land by day.
So, no, we're good, and we're gonna get it in, absolutely, we wanna get it in, we wanna see those lights lit. I mean, it's, the path light down there, Susan Valerio,
Yeah.
she emailed me and said she appreciated everything and has witnessed the light working because she walks during the day. I come in super early one morning and I'm like, that light's not working, but you almost gotta be underneath it to see it.
I see.
But it does cast down and lights the path nice.
Right.
So it does.
At nighttime, it does a good job.
Yeah, being in the morning, I know that solar power is carrying the battery through the night. The solar charge during the day is carrying the battery through the night.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes when we get into winter where there's
Cloudy weather.
14 hours of darkness and,
Yeah.
you know, that's the run time on those might change a little bit.
Okay, all right, interesting. Yeah, the rail looks good, the light looks good, so, yeah, we just monitor and make sure the light, what happens if the light does not work within the winter?
We have it in our license agreement that their responsibility to maintain it
Okay, so they would have to
in a
replace.
timely manner, and I think we have language in there that says, because Mike and I hashed this out with Natalie, and then sent it, Natalie and Peter, and then sent it to the mall and everything, and then you guys authorized it after we ironed all the wrinkles out, that they're responsible for it, and I think we have language in there that if they don't maintain it, we can maintain it and bill them.
All right.
We don't want to do it, because
Yeah,
we don't have any way, it's not like we can put a lien, the only way you can do it is put a mechanic's lien on the property to get your money back. It's not like you can re-levy it on their taxes.
Right.
Water and sewer, I think you can re-levy.
Yep.
Little things in a license agreement, you have to, small claims, mechanics liens, stuff like that.
Okay.
It's a totally different animal.
yeah, we'll deal with that if we get to that.
Yeah, I'm confident that the problem is the light sat in storage for 2 years.
Yeah, so the battery is,
Yeah, we already know,
Deteriorating.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
okay,
Well, thank you for that. It's been 10 years or more.
Yeah, it's been a long time, hasn't it, Mike? Mike was here on the, you mean on the path light, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been an issue.
It's been, wait, since they redid the lights, but the lights have been an issue at the mall and McDonald's since the creation of the mall and McDonald's. They could see them over at the hospital, and that has been an issue, but they have since shielded a lot of it. And full cutoffs when Mike,
They did,
They did do-
this parking lot out here at the front of the mall, I think they did shield them, so.
yeah, they shielded them and then they put full cutoff, so. That's all I have. I want to keep going. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
You're fine.
So Craft Road auto accident, that 32,000 repair, replace for the light, that's insurance reimbursement.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, well, yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's everything you do to try to get a claim on insurance is a gamble, right?
yep,
We've had instances where, perfect example, a college student, transient student from out of state was fired, a volunteer fire at Cuba Heights. He stayed there. He knocked a hydrant out next to Cedar Lane. We went to subrogate back, because that's what they call it, when we could not find their insurance carrier. We sent it into our carrier, and they subrogated back to the licensed vehicle, and we never won. So there's a big gap in insurances when they're out of states. That's an out-of-state company, but it's licensed here in New York. It's Brightview that takes care of the mall that hit that cabinet. So every intention is to get an invoice. Once you pay the bill today, we show that we paid it. My first contact is Brightview's insurance company. I'm gonna send them an invoice. I send Jody a copy, and we send them an invoice. If we get no response on that, then we go back to our insurance carrier. I like to keep ours out because we don't want to pay more premiums. If that's totally non-negotiable with their insurance company, I've had a lot of success. There's a few that we didn't have so much success. Then I'll turn it to our insurance company, and then they'll subrogate back to the carrier on the other. And our insurance company may pay us, but they go to battle and it doesn't affect our insurance. We have had that happen once. The park fence and the tree that was 75 years old, I had estimates of that, the value of that was like 30,000, because it takes a long time to get a mature tree. And our limits through our insurance company on tree replacement were only $1,500 or $2,500.
Wow.
So that's all they paid.
Yeah.
They did subrogate back to the insurance company, and they called me and said it was successful. So we have a reduced reduction, reduced, what do you call it? Deductible, that's the word. And disappearing deductible, that's what it was. So we got credits for the disappearing deductible, and those credits were reinstated back to the village's account. So we can use them down the road.
Okay.
So when they did get the money back from the other insurance company, we got all those credits back too, because it was really, we shouldn't have to pay deductible for something that was subrogated,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's the story.
Any other questions for John? Chris?
Like he said, we put tin on the barn. I ordered a bunch of filters to get all of our equipment serviced, our machines. Gonna be hauling out the mowers here soon. And hesitantly, but we did it. We unharnessed one of the big trucks, and that's ready for another season of work.
Okay. Just as an aside, I was at a function, there've been a couple of functions where I ran into Lynn Leopold within the last 10 days. She said to be sure to remind you that on the bulbs that are coming up, to not mow over the bulbs until they completely turn brown.
Okay.
I don't know if she's told you, but it's just something I didn't know, so this is a piece of information, that the time that the plants spend turning brown, it's feeding energy into the bulb in the ground so that the next year it can come out. So.
Yeah, we got in trouble from that, from,
Carolyn.
no, it was,
Oh, yeah.
Volt was his
Yeah.
name, down on
Shannon, was that the Shannon?
Shannon Park. Remember that?
All right.
So we realized that, and that guy that planted them, he kind of told us, I think, around June, if I remember, was the time we could start
Right.
mowing them. But I agree with you, when they start to turn brown.
Yeah.
Are we doing more bulbs this year? I saw it on our website that we're doing them, and then I heard we weren't doing them.
We didn't get the funding.
We didn't get the funding, so if we want to do bulbs, we would have to incur that cost out of our Parks and Recreation Fund, which we can do if we want to. It just hasn't been decided.
Was there a reason behind the denial of the grant?
No, the only thing they said was that they had a lot more requests than money this year, and since we had just come off of 1 year's getting the grant, they probably will skip us one.
Oh.
But we just have to wait and see.
Okay.
We can apply again next year if we want to. We will, it's not that hard, it's a 5-minute application process, but no, we just didn't receive it.
Just as a side note, because the same company, the same group, the Garden Club group, the same guy, contractor, if you go down and walk the lake trails or 89 or Stewart Park, if you scoot down there, you can see at which point they begin mowing the bulbs, over the bulbs.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I mean, I think the lake is warmer than up
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
So if you want to plan your work.
You could tell about Hartel Park because the sun rises in the east.
Oh, okay.
And like, well,
They're same.
recently, like the ones by the pavilion weren't really coming up, but the ones down the field that got the sun first, they're up and happy, and
Right.
it was pretty cool.
More time for the
Yeah.
ground to get warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They look nice. I drove by Harthill and Nantucket Park on the way over this morning, and they're starting to come up and look nice. Yeah. And it adds color to the ground, so it's a good thing. So we can decide if we want to do another one in the fall. There's still time to think about it, so.
Next time we plant, we should plant some out front here too. Because that garden up in the corner has some stuff in it and it looks really pretty. But then there's nothing down here, so.
Right now,
So it wasn't a lot of money for the bulbs. The grant,
500,
yeah,
how much?
2,500.
Right, but the grant was like 5,000.
right.
Because you included our
Match. Yeah, our time was our match.
So I mean, it's not a huge cost.
It's not a huge cost.
$500 money.
And
I think next time it would be nice to do crocuses, and they have the baby iris and the hyacinths.
The hyacinths is what the hyacinths and daffodils are the most successful through that program, the way, the technique that they use it. The highest is what I was hoping they would plant.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the next time around,
Yeah, we can
because it lasts longer.
splurge for a more expensive mixture of bulbs too, where they've got, they're coming up at different
Now
times.
we know it works and everybody enjoys them.
Yeah, so, yeah, we'll see if we get comments back from the public too. Anything else, Chris? I'm sorry.
No, I think that's it.
Okay, Nick, your turn.
I got nothing, he stole what was left.
He stole all your thunder, huh?
I was gonna say plow truck stuff, but I was gonna tell about the plow, taking the plow off the truck, but he took it from me, so.
Okay.
I'm not so sure that was a great decision on our part. I mean, we had, the weather station said 5 inches in Cortland is what the amount of snowfall we got in the last 24 hours.
Really?
The day before.
Interesting, yeah,
That's because it's Cortland.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's an arm right there.
Kill.
Yeah.
We're kind of in a donut here. We're-
When I woke up yesterday morning, it's going,
Cameron saved us again.
yeah, going glad.
Did, we were looking at him.
Yeah, yeah, the roads seem to be okay. So anyway, that's great. I appreciate it. Anything else? Questions? Mike?
Just so you know, the application for the electrical permit application for Floyd for Dart Drive lights is in his box, just so he can get you an ESO number. He knows about it, so
Oh, okay, perfect, thank you.
expect it. Right now, coming up on doing mostly the fire inspections. This time of year is when I do the R2s, the multi-unit and motels, hotels, that type of stuff. That usually takes me longer than any of the other ones because they're usually larger. I have to walk around the whole facility and everything. So I'll be doing that over the next couple of weeks. After that, it'd be right about the time where grasses and everything aren't growing up. I'm not gonna go out and continue my stormwater, checking the inlets, checking the outfalls. We already have them mapped out, but I like taking a picture of them, record them, see how they progress over the years. So I'll end up continuing doing that. We should be getting East Point North information by tomorrow so that they can make the planning board meeting at the end of the month. I will make sure I get you what you need, John, on that, so you know what it is, and then I'll also send the copies out to the board of trustees also, because it's kind of a big event. 20 Bomax, that PDA, they'll be coming to you Monday. They're supposed to get me the packets for distribution for everybody. Either it's supposed to come in the mail today or tomorrow. I do have a PDF of their so-called new plan, but I sent it over to Ron. Did you send it out to everybody or just send it out to everybody? It doesn't look much different than the original. I think I'll have them explain, I'm only speculating, I think what they're trying to do is also involve that corner lot, but not build on it on this point. They want to have it for the future as part of the PDA, so that, maybe when sewer units are more available, they can come back and say, hey, we'd like to build this now. It's possible they're going to do that.
If you look at that, the first page, they explain what they've done. If you read that.
They'll, Alex will be here to explain more on that, I'm sure. Alex Miragold, the architect. So there's some projects around the village that are happening. The Ross Dress for Less is going in, where Joanne Fabrics, they should be starting to mobilize and start working on that area. There's the community bank, the old Key Bank, right down here, Community Bank, they've got that gutted out. I've gone in for a concrete inspection on that, so they're moving along. Their contractor said they're looking to have that open by July. And then also Colonial Vet is redoing their full elevator shaft. Those are probably the three larger ones, other than up on Norway that's continuing, so. That's pretty much what I have. Anybody have any questions on something certain?
So Community Bank, does that mean they're moving from Applebee's, is that the same community bank?
I don't know if they're gonna be moving or not.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll try to find out for you.
Oh,
Loop around a little bit.
do your Mike Scott thing.
Oh, that, I spoke with Ronnie before, you talking about that one? I spoke with you before about our MS4. We have certain criteria that we have to for education of the community. It's all part of our MS4, your MCM 1 through 6. One of those is for, like I said, education, and what the coalition does, the Stormwater Coalition does, we pay into that every year. What had happened this year is Cuga Discovery or Discover Cuga, they basically have a class where they take a lot of students out on Cuga Lake and teach them about, all the transitions of the water from up here into the lake, how it affects it, basically stormwater, get into stormwater classes and stuff for the youth, and that's part of our education. We normally pay that right out of our annual fee to the coalition. This year, there was something that happened that the town of Ithaca paid this Cuga Discover, and now we have to reimburse the town of Ithaca. So I had sent something to Ronnie to ask him to sign for that because they need the mayor or whoever's in charge of the village to sign off on that one because we're doing something different. There's no change, there's no more money coming out of the village's pocket or anybody else's pocket. It's just how it's routed, that's all. So
This year is an exception.
if I could, I'd like you to sign it so I can pass that around whenever you get a chance to.
Oh, well, I will move a resolution that would allow me to sign the agreement for services with Cayuga, Discover Cayuga Lake, Inc. I would need a second for that resolution.
Second.
Susan seconds. Any discussion about,
Just the amount of the village's share.
There's nothing,
700.
Something.
no, there's no additional charge, you said.
No additional charge, but it's $700
$700.
out of our usual fee.
Yeah.
so it's already in, we just have to approve that paying the city of Ithaca with the money instead of actually going directly to Discover Cayuga Lake. So, yeah, that's all, it's just
Yeah.
paperwork thing, paperwork trail to follow the money or to allow the money to move.
Correct.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving this agreement, me signing the agreement, say aye. Aye? Okay. I will sign this right now, Mike, just so,
Thank you very much.
after signing all these.
Any questions?
Program.
It's a very good program for,
No, is that the same as the floating classroom? Yeah, okay, yeah. It's a really good program.
they've expanded a lot of it into tracking how trout and how they,
Oh, yeah, the fish health.
migration of it. It's just, it's pretty good stuff. I had a brochure. If I had that on the computer, I'll send it out.
What is
Thank
the
you.
name of the bank that's coming in down here?
Community.
Not Tompkins Community Bank, just,
Did they have to do anything with the water?
No change at all in that, no hookup or anything.
Thank goodness. I was a little concerned if they were putting a fire line in there, they were gonna have to cut up.
They don't have the sprinklers in there, and they're not required to have them, so. We discussed that with the architect, because he was wondering, do I have to put sprinklers in here? And I was like, no, it's gonna be, you mentioned something to me before about it's gonna be
Yeah.
difficult.
Perfect, okay, thank you.
It worked out good,
Yeah, it did.
because they had a water break inside there while the building was
Empty?
up for the winter.
Right, yeah, did it, yeah, okay.
Luckily, it's all concrete walls, it's a type 2 building, so it's all steel and concrete, so it didn't
Good deal.
really damage much.
How much water was in there? It was flowing out of the doors.
Yeah.
I guess the electricity was turned off too. Let's see.
You'd find out if it wasn't.
Yeah, eventually. So, okay. Anything else, Mike? Questions for Mike?
Nope.
Okay, thanks a lot. Jody, what do you have for us?
I sent everybody a copy of the adopted budget, but there's paper copies there if anybody wants it, and it's on our website. We had our intercom system put in last week.
Oh, is it there?
Yeah, it's there, so when we lock the door, we can lock the door when there's only one of us here. And from our desks, we can push a little button and see who's out there and talk to them and unlock the door. That's pretty cool.
Jody's had a lot of fun with it.
I think you have. The spring newsletter went out the end of March. April water bills are due by the 20th. The Village of Cuba Heights has notified Ronnie that there will be an increase in the sewer rate, again, by 25%, starting June 1st. But this won't take effect until the village's October billing. And the current rate is $7.59. It'll be increasing to $9.48 per 1,000 gallons. So I'm sure people are gonna be so happy about that. But however, our village surcharge will not change because that's based on the water, so. Linda Woodard, the mayor from Village of Cuba Heights, stated in her email that over the past 8 years, they have spent close to $14 million on sewer upgrades. Some of that was covered by grants, about $4,000, and another portion is being paid with a subsidiary loan that they beginning to pay off, which is $8 million. They applied and expected to be awarded a grant for phase 3 of this work, but were not successful. Some of that proposed work is critical and could not be postponed. They have taken out $1 million loan and dipped into their fund balance to finance this work. Village elections are on Tuesday, April 22nd. I will be out of town next week, going to Vegas to watch Kyle Russell.
Excellent.
So I've arranged with Tompkins County Election Board to have one of the workers take the bag down at the end of the night. Our organizational meeting's coming up on May 5th. I have a meeting tomorrow with John from HPM to discuss having them take over IT and helping us switch our website to .gov.
What time is that again?
10,
Tomorrow morning?
yep. The Village Cuba Heights uses HPM, so they're a reference. Don Hartel passed away last night.
Oh,
He fell last Friday and was in the Sayre Hospital. He had 2 skull fractures and 2 brain bleeds. So, yeah. So he's reunited with Marion now.
sad news.
Yeah. And does anybody have any questions about the vouchers? Can we approve those?
Any concerns?
No.
Okay, I will move that we pass the vouchers for March 17th, 2025.
Second.
Susan seconds. No discussion, questions?
No, they were already answered.
The answer. All those in favor of approving the vouchers, say aye. Aye. Okay. It's done.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Jody. I'm sorry to hear about Don. I saw Don at the Bolton Point meeting last week.
Well, now you'll have to appoint somebody for that, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a brilliant man.
Yeah.
Definitely was.
Yeah, and every time I've been in a meeting with Don, everybody's happy to see Don come in, so, yeah, that's a shocker. I'm sorry to hear that.
Is there anything we should be doing, or family, or?
So his family, he doesn't have any family here. I think his brother's coming in to do arrangements today. Yeah, my daughter Kristen was with him when he passed, so.
Do we know if there will be any services locally, or?
I think he wants to be buried with Marion in California. For her, they did a service, country club, right? But I don't know yet. If I hear anything, I'll let you
Yeah,
know.
let us know.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Anything else, Jody?
No.
Okay. We'll go around the room. Carolyn's out today. Susan?
Nothing for me.
King is not here. No. Kathleen?
Just Earth Day tabling is Saturday, the 19th, noon to 5.
Say that again.
The tabling for Earth Day
Earth Day table.
is Saturday, April 19th, from noon to 5. So Tompkins County Environmental Management will be tabling with Cornell Cooperative Extension.
Anything else?
No meetings since the last time, so.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. I'm just going over the topics. I've talked about our upcoming sewer, intermunicipal sewer agreement discussion that will happen later this month. There will be a final public meeting on our draft joint safety action plan we're doing with Tompkins County. This is the Safe Streets for All project we've been involved with. This is the final chance for the public to read through the draft plan and provide input. I've put something up on our website about that if anybody's interested in it. It points to it. The one thing that I did find, I've asked earlier on, and it has not been completed yet, but as part of the village's intersections or segments that are problematic, I was curious why there was nothing really on Warren Road and Warren and 13 intersection, and that's because it's not, when you search data within the state and federal databases on crashes, for some reason that road, and I think it's because it's a county road and the state road where they intersect, they don't show up as village properties, so they don't count, but they're making adjustments to the data so that they will show. Because the thing I remembered was there was one serious bike accident from someone coming out of the, can't think of the company's name, up on Warren. Anyway, they were coming out of the company parking lot on a bicycle, and they were clipped by a car and they died. And that didn't show up. And
There was a lot of motor vehicle accidents on Warren and 13.
right,
So there was one where a tractor trailer was barrel rolling down
yeah.
through the intersection. There was a fatality then.
Yeah, I know that there are serious ones, and that's why I would go into the database that they built for this plan, and that will be ongoing online, and when I searched for the Village of Lansing, it showed nothing. And I said, this isn't right, because it's really within our village, and so they're looking at the data to update it, and so it will show.
So it's an intersection improvement, corridor improvement, pedestrian improvement, and they sat in those meetings and they asked us for our suggestions. We give them to them, and they totally do something totally different. I'm concerned about that they wasted so much money on the corridor, 13 corridor, or a trip hammer corridor from Craft to 13, that they couldn't even, there was 2 pedestrian incidences, but they weren't even at an intersection. They were like pulling on a commercial drive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like pulling into Ramada Inn or pulling into the Mobile, where, you know, during the Trip Hammer reconstruction project, we couldn't do a whole lot for the existing driveway cuts.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, ours used to come out over here, and Mrs. Kim's come out right through like that. We combined them,
right,
and we straightened them out, and we made them perpendicular, a 4-way intersection with Craft. And then to have them sit there and say that, well, reduce the road diet, just drives me nuts. A road diet, shrink the intersections. But if you look at our comprehensive plan, it says they want good wide intersections for down disabled motor vehicles.
Right.
Or fire truck access.
Right.
This is a commercial corridor.
Right.
I mean, the New York State has gone so far as to list this as a commercial R permit vehicles, because there's no East Shore Drive doesn't fit. So this is the oversized, overwidth, overlength corridor,
right,
from
Town of
Four
Lansing.
Corners up there, Town of Lansing. So we have a truck that comes down here, it's Gen Bar Trucking, comes down here, goes up 13, and then goes to Warren to go to the post office. They're like 56-foot trailers.
Right.
They sent us a letter to the village 8-10 years ago saying, this is a corridor we're using, and basically bluntly said, there's nothing you can do about it.
Who said that?
Oh, the state DOT.
DOT?
Yeah, so I called them, I said, what do you mean there's nothing, we don't want to use this? Because I don't know if you remember, years ago, they used to go through Seneca, Skinny Atlas had a bunch of refuge trucks traveling that.
Yeah.
And Skinny Atlas raised Cain, and there was nothing that Skinny Atlas could do about it, so.
Right.
But anyway, I just feel like, you know, there wasn't enough information for corrections on this road that was worthy of them putting it in their study. I mean, there was just two road diet, basically rapid flashing beacons, and you can't put them, they're only for mid-block crosswalks. They're not made for intersections with traffic control devices like traffic signals. So, I mean, to me, it just felt like they didn't listen to us.
Can you send me this information and I can,
I've sent it to you in that email, very long email.
which one?
The one that Wolfgang sent prior to, and then I didn't want to be as abrasive as him, so I sent my own. I was kind. Kathleen sent one, and basically, like, why aren't they studying the two areas that we brought to their concern? The wide merging intersection of Cuba Heights Road and East Shore Drive and the Warren Road, because Warren Road is the village road. It's a village road up to the state DOT right away at 13. And those, there's a pedestrian push button there, which that intersection's 120 feet wide with no beacons or hand signals or countdown timers telling how long you got. So you're pushing a button and guessing it's your time, you know? And to me, it's, the state has a ton of funding for traffic signal intersection safety improvements. We looked into it down here at East Shore Drive and Cuba Heights Road. It needs to be brought up that Warren Road does not have any pedestrian movement at all on there.
That was.
It's not even
the thing
safe.
That is definitely one thing that I put in my comments too, is that road has to have some kind of pedestrian improvements and bicycles.
Right,
Quite frankly.
But to have them use Trip Hammer Corridor that we spent $5.5 million on, the village.
Expanding, yeah.
During 2005 expansion, we put a signal in here in 2013 at Craft Road. There was another traffic study. So there was a traffic study in 2000, from 2000 to 2003 was a traffic study. 2003, up until the day we awarded the bid, was the design and bid out process. And then in 2013, we did another review of the timing sequences up and down the corridor, Trip Hammer Corridor, to install the Craft Road signal. And then they come and study it again.
Right.
I mean, to me, it was a waste of money, a waste of funding. That's, I'm just being honest with you.
Well, I will go back and find that email.
Yeah.
And I will send it to them and say, these things have never been addressed.
We can't fix somebody rear-ending somebody on Trip Hammer Bridge because they're looking at their cell phone.
Right now.
We just can't fix it.
No, we're
And
looking.
those incidences get recorded. Anything over $1,500 or $2,500 automatically, if the cop does a visual assessment of the vehicle, $1,000. If a cop does a visual inspection of the vehicle, which is basically a plastic bumper, and says it's over $1,000, that report automatically goes to the DMV, it gets filed. So that accident shows it on a history
Database.
that they pull. So I'm not to go in lengthy detail, but they can quit studying this one in my eyes.
Right.
Because there's all their numbers, their pricing that they've figured to get corrections are so far off.
And they are looking into that also. That's,
Okay, you must have sent some of my email?
yes, well,
Okay.
I think all of your emails have been sent. We'll
Perfect.
Address them, so, but I will go back and find that email, and I will.
I can
do them again.
resend it, but to you.
If I can't find it, I'll
Yeah,
ask you about it.
please.
Okay. But I'm sure I can.
I mean, they're using, they call it like a weighted average.
Yeah.
So basically, they take all the contracts that New York State has, and they put them in there, and they, on each line item, say 304.13 line item, the average price on that, the going rate is $30 a linear foot, and they're using those, well, when, there might have been some that are $5,000 a linear foot, or some that might have been $5 a linear foot. Right. So it's hard to find out what's realistic numbers when it comes time to make corrections or improvements to our infrastructure.
Okay, well, I will push back on these and see if we can get some changes made to.
Who was paying for the study?
All of the municipalities contributed. Our part was like $6,400 or something like that, and which we haven't been charged for it yet. They won't be charged until kind of the end of the process.
So the more you have them inquire about our infrastructure, the more they will charge, or that's just?
No, that's not how it works. It's just a lump sum that they agreed to as part of the process, and this is just part of the process. And so I will push back, and I will let you know.
I really feel we didn't get a fair shake for our $6,400. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I was disappointed, and I think I was disappointed also. They're going, to me, they're taking the typical contractor's perspective. They're looking at data, but not on the ground reality. And they supposedly drove to all of these intersections, and I don't understand how they could drive to the end of Cuyahoga Heights and see that intersection and not realize that this is a fairly significant intersection that needs to be addressed. So I will push back and say we would like to see these changes.
Will you email me about a better picture for the corridor?
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I sent the guys out just to kind of take a quick look at it, and it was horrible yesterday.
Yeah, today might be a good.
To be honest with you, I think your best bet is to screenshot off the Google Maps and get one with.
Well, I can walk down here and take a picture. They picked the worst possible picture.
Yeah, it's snowing,
Yeah, you could see snow on the road and lines.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would have spent the $6,400 in other ways than that.
Well, the only good part about this is that we're not locked into just what they say. The fact that we've participated in this project and it's going to be filed and documented with the state, if we come up with any other projects that are more pertinent to the village, we can say, this study was done, but we've discovered, in the meantime, we have more information, this is a better intersection, and we want to apply for a grant. If we want to, then we can use this document. Without this document, if you don't participate, you can't even apply for the grants.
So if that's the case, we need to make sure that Cuyahoga Heights East Shore intersection is in this,
Because it's a
because that's the one we're concerned about.
major cost, yeah.
Yeah, so we have to make sure it gets in there.
But the whole, so I don't know if you're familiar with 24-hour prior notice law. So the village is subject to a prior notice law, just to kind of brief you real quick. If there's a chunk of sidewalk that sticks up 1.5 inches, a tolerable limit is 1/4 inch. If it sticks up 1.5 inches and somebody writes us because they stubbed their toe on it, we have 24 hours to react to that letter. We have 24 hours to, 1, fix the problem, or 2, have some form of written plan on how to
Start the process, fix it. Right,
remediate the problem.
yeah.
When somebody comes down here and says your whole corridor needs to be fixed, it's kind of like the writing on the law for the prior written notice. So you want to be careful about, I'm okay with putting prior written notice on Cuyahoga Heights Road, East Shore Drive,
Right.
because that needs to be fixed.
Right, but not on
But when you tag this whole corridor, that there's an issue, that looks bad on the village if there becomes an accident down the road.
Right. It's,
We know history, because we're here every day. These people are in some other part of the country that are doing this study. We know they're here, looking at Google Maps, looking at our infrastructure. Because most of the time that we zoomed with them, they're in some other country, or some other part of the country. We know that there's not a high history of pedestrian incidences out here.
yeah,
Because we know, we live here, we travel here.
okay.
So just be careful on how much you look for.
Well, I'll bring this up with the committee and say, when we do this, I mean, it's not just us, it's the county, it's every community in Tompkins County, I think. Anyway, is it going to put all of us on notice that because this is documented, that we have to now start trying to take care of that or else?
You can take this corridor right off. I mean, a road diet's not even an option.
Right.
I mean, it's just, you don't shrink intersections when they're already tight enough. They wanted us to shrink the intersection coming out of Grab enough so if a tractor trailer moving van
Right.
come out of this road, they can't get down to
They couldn't get in. Yeah.
Everything is getting bigger because there's fewer trucks to deliver.
Right.
So everything is getting bigger, longer, heavier. The logistics now is a nightmare
Right.
with what's going on in the world. There's less commercial drivers out there. There's more restrictions where they can only drive 10 hours before they need 8 hours rest. It's all fine, I'm glad.
Right.
But what happened is, it raised the price of everything you touch, own, have, use every day is brought here by a truck, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So,
The other possibility, expanding that comment, the number of online sales for delivery from Amazon is, you have not just FedEx, UPS, and USPS delivering trucks. You now also have Amazon trucks delivering.
that's right.
So the more trucks make it, so it's interesting.
Just a note to your, on the radio this morning, it said Cortland County had a windfall on sales tax revenue. And the trend is showing another significant earnings quarter. So I know there was a question where there was a deficit.
Yeah,
The trend is 3% more increase every
I hope so.
quarter.
yeah,
So just so you know, that's what I heard. Cortland County doesn't really have too many places to shop.
Right.
Where they're capturing their money is
On sale, online
eBay,
sales.
Amazon, everything out of state now, which is good.
that's been a general trend. And DiNapoli always includes that, but he was predicting that we would see a fall. So if we don't, we don't. But we need to worry about it, plan for the worst and hope for the best. So. Anyway.
All right, that's
Okay,
all I have.
John, I
Sorry to,
No.
ramble on about this
No,
study.
that's all good discussions. I would pass it along.
Because
And
unless you're on the committee and pay attention, and I'm totally not on the committee, so I don't know what I don't know.
right.
And if we don't talk about it.
Sure, so just a little history. They had Ronnie, Carolyn, and I on recommendations for intersections or improvements that's how we come up with the list we originally had.
Right.
Yeah.
And they distilled everyone's list, because everyone submitted a lot of different things, and they distilled those down to a high-profile segment and intersection. Segment is really that way. Intersections.
20,000 cars travel down through here a day.
Right. And so I think that's probably part of the calculation, is that this is one of the major corridors within the village of Lansing.
When we did the study, it was 20,000. I think their corridor study said there was 10,000, 11,000 that they had. And there was one motor vehicle accident. If he was to do that in percentages,
It's nothing.
really be real low.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is fantastic. I was pretty proud of this study, to be honest with you.
No, the good thing, in my going down that same path, my feeling was that they were having to really scratch to find things, problems in the village. But the concern is that the major intersections that we really want dealt with, although we don't have oversight over the Warren Road or that intersection at 13, and we only have responsibility for the village of the Cayuga Heights Road, but then the state gets involved because of the 34.
Yeah, but it was really weird how they did, not to keep going on it, but it was really
No, go
weird
ahead.
how they did the intersection of Dryden. That's all state roads.
Yeah.
You got 392 coming into 38, 13 and 13, that's all state roads, and that was on their target.
Yeah.
State's not even helping with this funding.
They are participating, and hopefully, I say hopefully because I don't have any evidence otherwise, is that the state has been involved in this, that when it comes down for requests, they could say, yeah, we participated in that, and all this is valuable and should be granted, but, okay. Well, I will capture this information and pass it along to the team. I will also let them know. I think I will send them an email this afternoon and say, we have concerns, and that.
Thank you, sorry to.
Information. No, that's why I brought it up. No, that's why I brought it up today. 'Cause it's-
Well, I can ramble on for hours. Can I, Jody?
Yep.
She used to get mad at me when I first came here, 20 years ago. Well, you go on forever.
The last topic I have is, I haven't heard anything last few days, the Lansing Meadows easements and stormwater agreements. Have we got any more information?
I heard.
It's on the agenda, actually, I gave you.
Today's agenda?
No, there was an agenda,
Okay, so
or proposed agenda for Monday.
we had first said we might talk about it today and potentially pass something. So basically, we're getting the information, but we're going to do it Monday night, at Monday night's meeting, right?
Yes.
That's
We
fine.
got the release of information,
So if,
so the engineer can release the information. Did we get that
so
yet?
everything is good except Natalie didn't read far enough in the recorded documents,
Yes, I saw her email.
right?
Yeah.
And so if I have to do another recommendation or not, I don't know, but I recommend you accept the sidewalk easements and the sewer dedication and whatever it is.
There were two outstanding issues. One was the release of information to the village from the engineer.
One was.
The second was the recorded corrected easement.
The correct, did you hear the latest about the corrected easement?
Yes.
That Natalie sent out yesterday?
Oh, not yesterday. What's the latest?
What's that?
No,
No.
not yesterday.
Anyway, the one for the water, the engineering for the water has all been completed. That's all been completed. That he had surrendered the rights to the engineer so the engineer could use the information for the village. That's all we needed.
All right.
The second item was, it got recorded as a 6-foot easement, not a 15-foot easement, but had been corrected on the page 1 of the document. But what happened was, on the several pages in, there's meets and bounds, what they call meets and bounds. Well, that contradicts the first page. So meets and bounds are degrees and minutes, east and west, whatever, that show that still is a 6-foot wide easement.
Okay.
So that needs to be corrected, and then, so another one gets referred back to this document kind of thing. So that, I guess, is in the process of being,
Right. So hopefully that can get done
Yeah.
before Monday night.
but I recommend that, you know, you move forward
Okay.
with this, the acceptance of everything, and
Okay,
we can,
Okay, perfect.
that's good. Yeah.
Once he has that and signs off on, well, we sign off on the stormwater, on the SWIP for the stormwater, then that's, leaves me the criteria to be able to give him a final CFC for the 4 buildings that he has there, and then that's all I need as far as that office goes, as long as John's got what he needs.
Okay, that's good. How long has it been? When did this start? When did this?
Remind us.
The one when I got here.
And we're
Long time.
not ever having this similar situation as what does John say, as long as I'm sitting here. right? Isn't that something you said once? No.
Okay, I don't have anything else for this afternoon, so I will move that we adjourn.
Seconds.
Susan seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Thanks for our raises too. They're coming in June.